Hey everybody, it's Glenn back in this video with the Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive Daredevil. This side of the pond we struggle to get Marvel Legends in our toy shops, yet our American friends can pick them up at Walgreens, a pharmacy. Crazy! Even crazier pharmacies in the US sell cigarettes, making them a one-stop shop for Marvel Legends and cancer. Whew, that got dark fast. Seriously though, I hinted in a video what with not having Walgreens in the UK my collection was without this, and many a kind soul stepped forward to change that, of which I'm grateful, especially to Don, who was the speediest of those kind souls to get this to me. Taking a closer look at the packaging side art, which features Daredevil flailing his billy club around, and given the variation of this particular action figure appropriately, the side art is rendered in a yellow tone. Then on the packaging back, the bio reads, wearing his original yellow costume, Matt Murdock is fearless as Daredevil. And although the original red Daredevil, of which this one is a variant, was released as part of the Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure wave, the packaging back features the Rhino Bath wave instead. I guess that was just the current wave when this Daredevil hit. So here is Daredevil out of the packaging, and as the bio stated, from his first appearance in Daredevil #1 from way back in 1964 and through the first 6 issues of that title, he wore this costume, before what has become his iconic costume debuted in #7. That being represented here in the form of the Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure wave Daredevil, of which this Walgreens one is a variant of. Honestly, I find it strange that 1, for a character that has devil in his alias, and 2, for Pete's sake, wears horns, yet he never wore red from the get-go. Even stranger when you think the man without fear wore the colour most synonymous with cowardice. But hey, it's a part of his comic history, and while niche, it's nice for it to be realised in plastic. And nicely realised it is. For the most part. My biggest problem is that in the original character design, the top of his boots arch upwards, meeting at a point at the front of his shins. And to realise that on the action figure, beneath the cut for the lower leg rotation, the yellow paint there achieves that angle, painting over the otherwise brown plastic of the boot. And that yellow paint is a real mismatch for the yellow of the plastic used for the legs above the cut for rotation. Honestly, while it's admirable Hasbro honoured the original costume design, the poor execution makes me wish they hadn't and just left the boots uniform brown beneath the rotation cut. More positively concerning the deco, I do like the heavy outline in black of the D on his chest, really makes that pop and ties in nicely with the eyes that are painted in the same tone as the D, and also get an outline on the top side that helps accentuate the sternness of his expression. But what separates this from being a straight up redeco is the inclusion of an unmasked head, which ironically for a blind guy reuses Hawkeye's head, the one from the Rocket Raccoon Bath wave. Let's swap out the heads. I guess the reddish deco for Matt's hair and his red tinted shades combine to de-Hawkeye it enough, and it does also fit onto the regular red Daredevil body, in case you were wondering. And to answer Vintage Fed 81's question, it does fit onto the Toys R Us exclusive Cyclops too. For such a swap, you might want to customize a little by painting the red hair tone down to a more neutral brown, but otherwise his red shades make for a good pair of Scott's ruby quartz glasses, I think. Now looking at articulation, and both the heads are able to rotate side to side, and then they both hinge to look down this much, and then they're both able to look up this much. At the shoulder, the arms rotate, and then they hinge up this far. There's upper arm rotation, followed by a double jointed elbow. Then at the wrists, the hands rotate, and they're also hinged, moving down and up. In case you're wondering, his belt is actually a separate vinyl piece that's been added on, and then there's waist rotation, followed by an ab crunch which moves this far forward, and then it also moves this far back. And it's nice to see they've continued the painting of the D up into the interior of that ab crunch. At the hips, his legs move out to the side this much, and then they move pretty far forward, but only really this far back. There's upper leg rotation, followed by a double jointed knee, then there's lower leg rotation there, and then at the ankles, his feet are hinged, moving backwards and forwards, and he has that crazy ankle rocker pivot that I love! And taking advantage of that ankle pivot, this is him stood at his widest stance possible, still with both feet flat on the floor. And before I take advantage of that posing, let's look at his billy club accessory, which comes in 2 parts, then can be connected into a single staff. Now, when I reviewed the Red Daredevil back in the Hobgoblin Bath Wave, I remarked that his billy club was made of a plastic so gummy it was less made by Hasbro and more made by Haribo. I'm pleased to say here the Walgreens one is a lot more stiffer plastic. And of course they can be stowed away into the holster on his hip. Or alternatively placed into each of his hands so he's ready to take to Hell's Kitchen and lay down some justice, Daredevil style. To wrap things up, and ultimately while this costume is historically important, I think the action figure is more one for Marvel Legends completists and Daredevil diehards. And hopefully one day comic incarnations like this will sit alongside action figures from the Netflix TV show. How awesome would that be? But until then you'll have to settle for my custom. Click on this video to check that out. Please give this video a big thumbs up, please, and hope to see you all next time. Bye.